They'll be looking to post a victory today to give themselves some much-needed confidence.
Indeed, they face that repechage this November against who still to be determined, as the European Championship also continues today. As we take a look at the standings for this year's ARC, United States, Uruguay, that's the big one. That'll be up next. But now Canada, Chile, neither team can really contest here for the trophies. They won't get a podium, but like we said, plenty to play for.
Plenty to play for, as you see there. Canada, they can't progress. The best they can do is fourth position. But again, a good win today can give them confidence going into the repechage in November, as you mentioned. We see captains here with the coin toss. And the referee today should be very interesting. But Chile, a home crowd. So, again, they want to post their first victory. We look at the starting lineup here. It's a young forward pack, an average age of about 25, and the first choice prop, Jose Tomas Munita, returns to provide a boost to the front row. Watch for the dynamic running and solid defense of the 23-year-old Petruis. He returns back after coming back against Uruguay. Canada, it's a special occasion for Ray Barkwell at hooker there. He earns his 50th cap today in the Canadian jersey. He leads a pack that's slightly larger and more powerful than Chile. In the backs, we've got courageous captain Phil Mack. He'll be delivering his service to the back line, which provides a mixture of experience and youth. And look for Josh Thiel today as he makes his debut for Canada.
And there is that man you mentioned, Mark. Ray Barkwell gets his 50th cap today. He will be the honorary captain as he leads out the side. Phil Mack, you saw him at the toss. He will lead this side in the 9 jersey. Jose Ignacio Lorenas, the outside centre for Chile, will captain. What a moment. 50 caps. Very, very unique and special moment for international rugby players. It is a very, very lofty mausoleum there for those players as well.
Yeah, Barkwell, 37 years young. He's certainly been around the block a few times. As you'll see, he'll lead out his team. Wonderful moment for him.
And a very nice touch there from the home crowd, honouring Ray Barkwell, as we said. 50 caps for Canada. 37 years of age. He's done it all, Ray Barkwell. He'll suit up again this year in the newly formed Major League Rugby, playing for the Seattle Seawolves as these sides make their way out onto the field here. 80 minutes separates Canada and Chile. Round 5 of the ARC coming right up. Mark, we will go down field side now for the national anthems, firstly of Canada, and then the home team in Chile.
The true north, strong and free, from far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard.
A continuación, el himno de Chile.
there was a World Cup for anthems, Chile would be a front runner for sure. Very passionate moments there as we are moments away from kickoff and pretty nice conditions to play international rugby here today, Mark.
Pretty nice, Dan. I would say perfect. It's not too hot. It's around 77 degrees Fahrenheit for the American audience. 25, 24 degrees Celsius if you're in Chile right now. And look at that pristine pitch as well. Looks fast, looks sharp. Expect to see a lot of running rugby today. Referee today, Pablo De Luca from Argentina. Hopefully his hammies are nice and stretched because he'll be doing a lot of running today as well.
Last instruction for both the captains from referee De Luca.
In each line, the match commission has told me if I can draw 2 meters beside the 15 line, so we can play 15 real line, okay? Do you understand? From the 15, yeah, we have 13 meters. So I will do 2 meters more, and I will say up to here we can play line, okay? Happy with that? Thank you.
Here we go, the global language of rugby coming to the fore there. Canada will kick off on the left for your screen. They are in the red. Chile in the blue. It's in the hands of McRory, the fly half for Canada. Can they finish 2018 with a victory in the America's Rugby Championship, or will Chile cause the boil over at home and get their first victory? Waiting for the whistle of Pablo De Luca to get us started.
Esa está mal. Phil, we have 15 meters here, not there. Yeah.
We are underway in Santiago, Chile, and it will be the home side to receive the kickoff. Great work there. Flying through was Davis from Canada. Mac now shapes that ball to his left. Early opportunity to attack here for the Canadians. Mac again to his left, finds McRory. Canada 5 short of the line. Continuing to push the ball to this left-hand side of the Chilean defence. Stagnant ball at the back. Campbell goes forward. Look for Bailey to do the same. There goes the big rangy back rower. Plying his trade at London Scottish now, Bailey. Exciting young Canadian prospect, Blevins, flat pass. No release there from the Chilean tackler. That will be an early penalty here, Mark, and the possibility, you would think, for 3 points for Canada.
You would think they'd take the 3 points early on. Great start, winning their own kickoff. They're setting their intentions early here, Dan, and they managed to go through the phases nicely, pushing it over to that far side, then coming back, just putting the Chilean defence under pressure. And you notice Chile, they like to, and they've proved in the past, they like to race off the line and put pressure on. So Canada will be looking at maybe capitalising or trying to slow down that fast line of defence that you see Chile employ quite often.
McRory, the 29-year-old from the Calgary Hornets, will have this shot to open the scoring here for Canada. Flags are up, 3 points to 0 after 2 minutes, an early lead for Canada. And looking through this Canadian side, Mark, they really are starting to shift their focus to youth as they look to the future. In the back line in particular, you look at the back three. Deal at fullback makes his debut, 20. Davis, you saw him on the kickoff, also 20. And Lloyd at 23, the eldest of the back three, definitely showing their hand here, the Canadians, as they look to build to the future.
It is a young back three, but an exciting back three in that. Great start from Davis, just plucking that kickoff out of the air. And it's always good to see young players taking their chances.
Chile, that restart deep Return fire from Canada up towards the halfway line. Not a bad result here for Chile. They'll have this line out just outside the 40 of the Canadian side.
This
We'll get our first look at Chile with ball in hand.
It's interesting now, you just hear the referee explaining, as he did before the kickoff, that we have a small field, so it's not quite 15 metres, it's only 13 on that side.
Definitely keep an eye on that as this game progresses. Great counter-ruck comes in from Canada. Unable to profit from that effort. And now Chile, they play out the back. There's the captain running now in Loranis. Good offload, now out to the wing. Great interchange there. But a boot just clips the sideline from Zanino as the cover defence from Canada slides through.
Great attack from the Chilean backline. Good to see them throwing the ball out wide early on.
Wait, Pato, no lo dejes jugar cuando yo estoy acá, dale. La línea es su marca.
Just lacking a little bit in their execution. You see the passes weren't as crisp as they would have liked.
They go to 4, well handled. Taken forward now, Rumble. Does just as his surname suggests. McRory drives this splits. The winger and fullback there. Zunino. Well, that was a difficult bounce for the young winger to handle. Wisely lets it trickle over the sideline. Great pickup, though, for Canada.
It was a little effort there from Zunino. Tricky one, as you said. That is the bounce of the rugby ball. He showed some experience for a young man.
Phil.
Great take. Chile using the tall timber male. He is the favourite target in that line out, and the maul is set as they push forward. Canada defend well, and that ball spilled forward. And Mark, coming into this game, I really felt it was critical for Chile to start well. That opening 10 minutes, the early exchanges had to go their way. So far it hasn't. I think this plays into the hands. The longer this goes, I feel the more comfortable and more experienced Canada is at international level, it will pay dividends.
Yeah, Chile are not known for finishing strong. They like to start and hold their lead. There's some players that you'll see will step up, but as a unit, you're right, they need to start well, and Canada seems to have gotten the better of them at this stage.
You must support your body weight. Same mark.
Watch for players like Januszewski at the back. He can spark something out of nothing, but he needs more support. So he'll be looking to his pack to provide a strong platform for their backline today.
Inside number 8. Coach. Bind. Set. Stability, please. Stability.
Good cadence there from the Canadian pack. Mack finds McRory off the back. Blevins turns it back to the blind winger there. Beautiful run from Davis. 2 very good touches early on from Davis. That's turned over though. Chile under pressure. We'll come back for the initial knock on against Canada. There was more enterprising stuff at the set piece. I've liked the look of Davis early on. Just 6 minutes into the game, he's had 2 very, very solid touches.
2 nice in touches, you see. But just there, a little overzealous with that offload. You can see, and that could be the inexperience coming into play. So he's definitely showing a lot of guts just getting in and getting involved, which is what you need to do to settle down those nerves. Just get that jersey dirty and settle into the game. But that overcooked it a little bit there.
Again.
Scrum down. Mark, obviously very experienced. You played a lot of Super Rugby, a lot of rugby in Europe as well. You get a young player like Davis, obviously the ability's there. What do you say to him when you have those little mistakes? How do you build a player like that back up so they don't get into that negative spiral? He started the game well. A 50-50 offload doesn't go to hand. What's your communication with him?
It's, as always, just keep it positive and not to worry and just look forward. So it's a matter of not dwelling on what just happened. It's always looking forward and always acknowledging the good stuff that they're doing. Young players tend to get very nervous. So you want to keep it positive and just keep them focused on what's next.
Advantage Canada.
Great scrum there from the Canadians. They have advantage. They'll play quickly. Mack Finds Fraser.
Tackle away.
Fraser
Thank you.
gets his second cap here today. Barkwell, great hands from the veteran Barkwell to the corner, and there's the opening try. Ray Barkwell, he's turned back the clock on his 50th cap. Sensational stuff.
Wow, that all came from the turnover at the scrum. They're slightly bigger as a pack, but definitely a lot stronger, Canada, than Chile. And what a great first touch for Lloyd. But it all came through Barkwell, the half centurion. What lovely hands from that man out wide. You see it right here, just quick hands. He actually missed a player as well, so had the vision to get it out to the player in space. And he did a nice job of finishing off as well in the corner, Lloyd. He had some work to do, and he did it well.
Well, he's always considered himself a ball-playing hooker. You don't hear that too often in world rugby, but Barkwell adds yet another string to his bow.
I think all hookers consider themselves ball playing. It's just not always the case.
There's consideration and actualization. Barkwell does that. McRory from the sideline. Flag stayed down. Well, it must have been just a coat of paint in it. Score remains 8 points to 0. One last look at Barkwell's brilliance.
That little miss pass across the number 6, Dubravsky. And he certainly hit the right man. There he is right there celebrating his 5-pointer. So that's a good early touch for Lloyd. Expect to see more of him as the game progresses.
Pizarro, deep. Looks like the sun may be affecting Canada in this first half on those restarts. They retain possession, counter ruck. More of a nuisance there from Chile. McRory in his 22 drives this down the middle, looking to split the back three again. Well fielded though. Izanewski, the fullback, returns fire. Deep kick. In his debut, Thiel. That'll be a nice touch for the debutant, just to get that ball into his hands and over the sideline.
Yeah, it was a little shaky on the take, but luckily he had plenty of time and plenty of space just to recalibrate and put that ball over the sideline. He would have liked to have pumped that over the halfway, but again, young man, some early nerves. He'll get better as the game gets.
Okay, you have time. Numbers.
Petchowitz at the top, takes that one down, and now midfield with Chile on the attack. Look to go wide early. Great pass. You talked about the fullback, Izanewski, and he cannot find his man on the outside. Looming up was Zanino. Opportunity goes begging, Mark.
Does. Such a dynamic runner. I love watching Izanewski. He loves to counterattack, but you see there he's also equally comfortable just injecting into a back line. And you can see that's the second line out that the backs have opted to go wide and use their numbers. It was much better execution this time. It was a flat ball to Izanewski that got him into the gap, but just couldn't finish it off.
Canada now through rumble, go forward, just shy of the 22. McRory sits in the pocket. Good driving kick. Chile will play quick through Zanino. Izanewski cannot get his way through the traffic there as Mack takes it. The 32-year-old Phil Mack still plying his trade. Absolute veteran, not only the 15s, but the 7s scene as well.
Play on.
Turnover, not clean, looks like off the feet on Bailey. Yep, there's the call from DeLuco. And Mark, now Chile have this opportunity to drive the ball in the 22.
Yeah, they do, Dan, and they're quite capable. It was good play. I think it was Mayol who saw the opportunity to counter-ruck.
Vos escuchás el silbato y frenás. ¿Estamos? Es la última vez que te lo digo. ¿Estamos? Sí, ellos frenaron.
That counter-rucking opportunity, as you can see there on the replay, it was actually Ducelon who came in, saw the opportunity and took it. So these Chilean players are capable at upsetting the opposition at opportune times. Izanewski,
Repetime el número. Dale.
see if he can
Phil. when you
get
hear
his
one
team
whistle,
on the
you
board
stop.
with 3 points.
Just tell that to your players. Okay?
Ian Azuski's kicking has been up and down in this tournament. They look to him to score their points. He is Chile's top point scorer in this competition. He's scored a try, a total of 17 points at the moment. This will take his tally to 20.
Good strike. The crowd tell the story. Chile on the board, 8 points to 3 after 13 and a half here in Santiago.
Marce, fíjate si puedes subir el volumen de tu equipo. Ahí está bien, ahí está bien.
That's just what the locals needed to get some points on the board, get themselves back into this game. McGrory. Well handled this time by Chile, just outside the 22.
Contact in the air. Contact in the air.
And there is your piggyback out of your own end. It was a great take in the air by Dagnino. Now Chile will look to clear this ball out of their own end.
Wonderful take by Dagnino, Dan. He was under pressure, so much pressure, in fact, that they hit him before he even had a chance to hit the ground. Earns his team a penalty in the process, and as you mentioned, a piggyback out of there. Canada will be ruining that. Just taking the pressure right off by allowing that penalty.
Oh, almost stolen there from the Canadians. Well secured though. Perota onto the right foot. Goes deep. Oh, feel the second time he's lost the ball there. And this time the knock on. Well, Canada have to rally around their young fullback here. That's his second drop from 2 kicks.
Just looking a little uncomfortable there, and I'm sure Chile have taken note of that. They'll keep putting the ball in the air. Why wouldn't you? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So keep testing out the feel. You also mentioned the sun before, Dan. I'm wondering if he was looking right into it. We've seen a couple of players now just looking a little uncomfortable in that direction.
Looking at the players' shadows, the sun would be more in the face of the Chileans, but it is pretty directly above them. If I go back to grade 9 science,
wow,
you can see where the sun is, where the shadow is cast, the old sun wheels,
Boy Scouts,
the sundial. Here we go, Chile, back in the 22. Can they come away with more points? Need to get that ball out a little quicker, giving Canada the chance to counter-ruck. Perota comes to his left, goes flat. Busalant. Well into the 22 now. Mayo, the big man, goes forward. Well stolen though. Counter-attack from Canada as Mack goes wide. Finds Lloyd, the try scorer. Lloyd surrounded by 3 Chilean players. I'll get it out in a moment as the pitbull brings him down out wide. Mack, options both sides, slow ball. This is a great exit pattern here from the Canadians as they're up to the 40 already. Blevins had 2 outside him, elected to take contact. Again, slow ball for Canada here. Here's Sarud. He goes forward. There's the ball Mack wanted. It's quick. Boxers can't find space. Zunino. Inazuki. Drifts across field. He is really a threat with that counter-attack. Mark Stabini, you've mentioned that many times. Enjoys to run. That time, the corridor just shuts down on that right-hand side as it looks like the pitbull Petchowitz takes it over the sideline. Here's the replay off that exit. Oh, looking at the late tackle there on Mack.
This is your mark.
Touch and go.
touch and go. I have to see it from another angle. This might show it a little better. I definitely think He could have pulled out of that tackle, Dan.
You're okay there, okay? Good there.
Nonetheless, it's play on. It'll resume from where the play left off before. And you see Ian Azuski expect to see more of that counter-attacking run.
Lloyd comes off the wing there on the line out, goes forward. Big physical winger is Lloyd. Talked about that line speed from Chile, still very enthusiastic after 18 minutes, getting up and spoiling a lot of this Canadian attack, slowing the ball down. Mack. That's what they're going to have to do more of, Canada. That little tip-on play between the forwards, the interchange. Isolating those shooters, McRory. Drops it onto the left boot. Lloyd in a foot race there with Avelli. And now Perota cannot find the touchline. Here comes the counter-attack. McRory with the ball. Two hands. Finds the fullback in Thiel. Offloads. And now forward they go with Bailey. Big contact. The big man bumps off one. Shrugs another. Bailey still going. Back inside. Great pass to Campbell. And just like that, Canada find themselves inside the 22 here. Dabrowski. Mack finds Barkwell. Oh, he's still playing ball. Barkwell at first receiver. He may have to add a number onto the back of his jersey if he keeps doing this, Barkwell. Just showing the skill of modern day players. As again, ball slows down here. Dabrowski, he's taken right in front of the post, about 20 out from the line. Rumble. They look to initiate quick ball again. Chile have done well.
Wait, 3, 2.
Larson. They go short. Dabrowski, that's his third touch. In this sequence of play for Dabrowski. Rumble goes forward. Very conservative play here from Canada, Mark.
No hands, Lou. It's okay, the ball's outside.
Very patient, McRory. Turns it back inside to Fraser. They lose some ground there to Canada. Little kick through, needs a bounce. Lloyd, oh, almost pulls an absolutely spectacular take to Lloyd. And they almost create something out of nothing, Canada, after probably 2 minutes of very, very stagnant forward play. The try scorer Lloyd almost bags himself a double.
You said it. You said it perfectly. Something out of nothing. I mean, it just looked like Canada were going through the motions. Chile very comfortable with that kind of slow play. That's what they want. You need to play this team quickly with quick ball. If you get in behind, you saw before Canada got to this position in the field through offloading. They really struggle with broken defense to get their defensive line set. You slow it down, they're comfortable. They'll race up on you and force an error. But you see here, they're just looking at, I'm guessing whether Lloyd was behind. It doesn't matter anyway. I think that was knocked on, and that's what they're coming back for, the knock on. But good vision by Mack, the captain. You'd expect to see that from someone so experienced. I wonder if he got the call from Lloyd out there, or he just saw an opportunity and Lloyd reacted. Either way, exciting stuff. Let's see more of it.
Your shoulder, please. Yeah, good gap there.
Scrum has been dominant thus far for Canada. They would love that trend to continue here on the 5 metre line of Chile. Messy ball to back. And again, you've got to give a huge pat on the back to the tight five to Canada as Mack looks to go quickly.
On the mark, please.
We will come back to the mark.
On the mark. You are not the mark.
One of the Chilean players down.
Nacho.
You take this little bit of time for injury. Mark, you mentioned it before that Canada did such a good job with their offloading, with their phase play coming out of their own end. They get into the 22, they almost seem to freeze. Why do you think that is?
I have no idea, apart from the fact that maybe they just haven't practiced enough in that area. It quite often happens that when you get into that zone where you're about to score a try, naturally the opposition is going to lift in defence and apply more pressure. So it does pay off to practice being in those situations. Still, show the same kind of patience that you do leading up to that phase, and not feel like you have to rush anything because the try line's right in front of you. It's amazing how it can affect you psychologically when you're so close to the try line. You see, that's the second scrum now that Chile have been turned over by this powerful Canadian pack.
Wouldn't be surprised to see Canada elect to go for the scrum here, just on the back of their dominance. Almost force that situation for referee DeLuca to pull a yellow card for an infringement or the penalty try.
Yeah, you would definitely expect to see that happen. They'll continue to apply the pressure, although here they're going to go to the line out. So options are plenty for Canada right now. They're looking very dominant.
Yeah, thank you.
There you go.
Great shot from behind. Ray Barkwell right on the 5 here. Line out for Canada. Well taken from Larson. Maul set.
Listo, cuatro, listo, cuatro.
You see Bursick in there trying to spoil that. Referee calling him out.
Flag from the yard.
I think this may be for that lifting on Bursick. He had that one of the legs of one of the Canadian players up pretty high. Great flexibility in the hamstrings, but not exactly legal.
Give me some time. Thank you.
You mentioned before, Dan, some of the options that you might expect Canada to take, they may not take. We said that, yes, they want to win this game, but it's not going to improve their chances at all in this championship. So it's an opportunity to play different plays and work on areas of their game that perhaps they want to be practicing. What I'm saying is they, at times, might use this as a bit of a training run.
Spanish isn't the best, but I do know they're going to the TMO to look at number 4 for Chile, lifting in the ruck. That is young Nikola Bursick.
¿Hace falta? Okay.
So I agree with you 100%, Mark. I think there's a bigger picture here for Canada and Canadian rugby as they look to qualify for the World Cup in 2019. Still, I would be focusing more on that rather than the short-term result here today. I think they get the win against Chile, no matter what, but the bigger picture, as we take a look at the TMO, I think it was just before that Bursick was lifting the leg.
You're right, Dan. And as I said, I'm not saying this is the case, but I would not be surprised if, let's say, a scrum, they could have packed down again and possibly pushed them over for a 5-pointer, a try, a penalty try, a yellow card, although I think it might be a little early for that. Or Phil Mack, the captain, being a back, might have just said, let's have a line out and give the backs a go. Let's get the ball in their hands and see if they can produce something out wide.
Salvo que vos tengas otra información, Marcelo.
It looks like it may come back for a penalty as Nikola Bursick was just testing the ankle ligaments there of one of the Canadian players. Maybe channeling some of his old WWF moves. Looking for the submission hold there.
Phil, come here, please. Captain. Okay, I have an air code. Okay? In the video, I can see that after you tackle number 4, then you try to hit him. I think you didn't hit him, okay? Just with your arm to his body, I think it's nothing. Okay? Don't do that anymore, okay? It could be, it could, if you punch him, it could be yellow card. This is not this occasion, okay? So it will be scrum for the team that has the ball in the last one, okay? Sí, pero no le pega. No le pega. se levanta y tira un golpe y no es nada. La intención del golpe no cuenta. No, para mí no es nada. No, es suficiente. Okay.
Well, there you go, Mark. We were way off the mark. It wasn't, in fact, it was Phil Mack coming in afterwards. I think that was very well handled there by referee DeLuca, though. And we'll get back to the scrum. In a roundabout way, I get my wish eventually, and it will be a Canadian scrum, about where the penalty was about 2 or 3 minutes ago.
Bind! Set!
Good, strong platform. Mack to his right, Blevins. The hard man goes forward. Also closing in on 50 caps is Blevins. He should have that by the end of the year. Mack now to his right. Short ball opens up. That's another try, and it's for the 7 in Rumble. And it comes off the back of quick ball, Mark Stabina. That is the key for Canada.
Quick ball and in the same direction. So Chile just struggling to get their numbers around to match up Canada's numbers on that far side. See that quick ball from the ruck. Campbell takes it quickly. And then again, another little offload from the base. You see Chile just scrambling to get round the corner. It seemed too easy, but it all came from that quick ball, as you said, and Rumble just diving over for probably his easiest try of his career. But as I mentioned, you just play Chile quickly. If this game opens up and remains at this pace, they may struggle.
Conversion right through the post there. 15 points to 3 after 25.
Rumble there, as I said, just one off the ruck, easy, no one in front of him, basically. It was just a case of diving over. But again, that quick ball, Chile will struggle. Slow it down and they feel much more comfortable.
Come down to this left-hand touchline again. Well handled by Davis.
Side entry.
Youngster from Calgary.
Side entry.
There it is. Mack goes quickly. Dances his way up to the 40. This is where they play that quick, attractive rugby, Canada. Larson. The tall timber. 6'5", 197. Blevenzo. Great bootlace tackle from the Pitbull. Brings him down. Forces McRory to use the boot to clear. Inazuski may have taken that back into his 22. Referees don't agree though, and that will come all the way down. That's a great pickup from the fullback.
Yeah, that played with my eyes a little as well. I just looked up quickly and saw Ianuszewski back up. So it looked like he might have backed up over his 22, but he obviously caught it inside, and a great kick, gaining lots of territory for Chile here.
Mack dancing his way up the middle there. Here's Duru. Off the back. Here comes the box kick, you would think, from Mack. He'll pull it back. McRory in the 22. Taken back, though. Inazuski comes wide. Here's the counter from Chile. Finds the captain, Lorenis. Dances his way. Releases, plays again. Lorenis, the captain, goes forward into the 40 now. Big counter up comes in from Canada. Physical play from Canada. That one may have snuck up a little high from Larson.
Contact in the neck, number 4.
Didn't seem malicious though, just more or less flung that big arm of his out and grabbed it.
Well, it was a case of big man on little man or smaller man. And there's no little men out there. He just came over the top and got hold of the head and neck, and you see with the laws these days, anything around the neck or head is going to be penalised immediately, and that's an uncharacteristic mistake from Ian Azuski.
Again, looking at the shadow of the ball, looked like it cleared inside, but assistant referee, here it is. Yeah, you see just that over the back of the neck there. Nothing malicious in that, but it warrants the penalty. You come all the way back, it'll be a scrum here for Canada, just shy of the halfway line. 11 minutes left to play in this first half.
Bind. Set.
The scrum, very good thus far for Canada. McRory out the back, Blevins. Beal, well met though. Strong work from Avelli to come up. Now Lloyd. Proven to be a handful out in that left-hand side has Lloyd. Forward again, Mack. Finds Barkwell. No thoughts of a pass from big Raimundo on that one as he just trucks it forward. Larson, great hands. Campbell, equally as good. Now Lloyd backs himself again one-on-one. Well handled, plays opposite number to Avelli. Mack to his right finds Bailey. Again, this stagnant play really plays into the Chilean defence, Mark.
Well, we've said it time and time again, when you slow it down and play just kind of one-out stuff, that's what they want, because they can race up in defence and apply pressure. They feel much more comfortable in a strong defensive line, racing up. They've got players on the left, players on the right, so they can fly in and make a stronger tackle. And as you see in this case, a strong tackle causing a turnover at the breakdown. As soon as you start playing them wide and have them having to backtrack and form their defensive line when the play's going quick, that's when they feel uncomfortable.
Bind. Set.
Perota. Fiji scrum, big scrum from Canada going backwards. Dagnino does well to field it. Now they go short. De La Fuente. Around the corner comes a big man in mail. A little opening there for the 10 in Pizarro.
No, that's from you.
Another penalty here gives them a chance to piggyback their way out of their own end. It's 2 in a row for the fullback. Steele drives this one back up towards the halfway line. He'll be disappointed with himself, the youngster. Tomas Inazuski.
As you said, 2 kicks in a row, and it is uncharacteristic of him. He's an experienced player, even though he's only 25. You've seen in previous matches, such a clever player.
Now Chile to the right, juggle, lost. Dabrowski on the spot there to take that ball. Inside Campbell. Needed one more pass there, Campbell. The support wasn't coming. Dagnino on top of that one. Loses his feet, though. McRory. Davis. Look for runners outside. Didn't see much. Decided to tuck it under the wing and go forward. Mack down the blind side. Great hands. McRory, dummies. Winger shot in and Avelli. Left Lloyd unmarked. McRory couldn't get the ball away. Larson. Mack turns inside. Ilnicki. I believe his first touch of the ball in this game. Larson. Another touch for the big man. He takes it inside to 22 here off Chile. And the assistant referee spots the infringement. Another penalty for Canada, and you'd think in the final 7 minutes, this will be a good indication of what they're trying to do here, whether they are just trying to win this game, Mark, or they are building. This is a kickable penalty.
It is. Thought for a second there, McRory even shaped to do a crossfield kick to his wing. A little bit of ill discipline there from Thomas Ducelon. A little bit of desperation creeping in. Getting his naughty little hands stuck in the cookie jar. Referee did tell him to keep his hands out of there, but he blatantly ignored him. I'm wondering, Dan, if just before Canada had opportunities to raise the pace of play, and I saw a lot of players out there walking already. 30 minutes have gone in this match, and it is warm. Wouldn't say it's a hot day, but it is warm, which a lot of the Canadians are probably not used to. So that could be playing in Chile's favor today. At one stage, just noticed, even though they seem to have some good forward momentum, they lost their shape a little bit. Phil Mack was looking for a player to pass the ball to, and a lot of the players were flat-footed, standing.
Mail getting some attention for the left eye. Soto comes on to replace him. Larson now takes this one at the top. Maul defended well here from Chile early on. Now they get moving. The legs pumping, that ball comes out. And the turnover for Chile, a very, very excited Chile too. That's a big moment here. This close to half-time, if they can get out of their own end without giving up any more points going to the break mark, that could be a big momentum shifter.
It's so important for Chile right now not to concede any more points going into the half. You can see them just kind of holding on as it is. If Canada are able to score again, there's still 6 minutes left in the half. So Chile definitely want to get out of this area right now, relieve some pressure, and quite possibly score some points of their own, which will give them a lot of confidence going into the second half. Otherwise, as you said, could be the total opposite effect. The scrum is looking a lot stronger than the first two scrums of the match. And Canada just letting off Chile there. So as we mentioned before, they're proving themselves a nuisance, Chile, here and there in ruck time, and in that case, to upset them all.
Bind. Set. Same scrum.
That one straight down, will reset. They've definitely come a long way, have Chile, since the ARC started. They've seen some improvements in the sevens as well. Their seven squad have done quite well over recent times. And there was news this week of the potential for a professional competition in South America, of which Chile, you would think, will be involved. And that can only raise the standard of the game, especially for the Chiles and the Brazils of the ARC.
Most definitely. When anything like that happens, Dan, it normally attracts some overseas talent, both players and coaches.
Soto off the back. There we go. The Canadian players doing the job of the referee there. They were celebrating before the whistle. Then the call comes in, and this is exactly what you said Chile could not afford to do. Give possession back to Canada, especially at the scrum. See if we can spot it here. Yeah, there it is. Just a bit of a loose carry there from the winger and Avelli.
Well, again, Soto, not quite sure why. An experienced player like him would just be shoveling the ball onto his wing, putting a lot of pressure on. Soto does a great job normally of just picking the ball up from the back of the scrum and running and saying, try and stop me. He's a great danger player to use coming out of your red zone. It's another strong scrum, but wheeled, so they'll pack down again. Canada feed.
Yes, Soto, linked with the Stade Francais club, you would think, would know better.
Not clear for me.
Okay. Let's go, teach.
Remember, push forward, okay?
Lo mismo, pero más estable, dale.
And a big moment here, right on the shadows of half-time. Canada
Yep. Thank you.
could get a lot closer to driving a nail into the coffin of Chile's 2018 campaign if they can get a try here.
Set.
So far, though, Chile have pestered their way through this first half. Mack darts off the back, dummies, almost slices through there, Phil Mack. Campbell now, big contact comes in on the number 8. Larson. Here's where they slop. It almost seems as though they're committing one or too many players to the breakdown on ball that they've got. That may be from the counter ruck from Chile early on that have caused that. There's the quick ball they need. Blevins over the line. Can it get it down? No, just short. Desperate defense from Chile. And we will go upstairs to take a look to see if Cole Bailey is grounded this. I heard a Ric Flair, woo, so I'm guessing he's pretty confident.
It's going to be close. Here the referee just asking if it was a knock-on over the line. You said before, some strong contact coming in. Chile are capable of putting on the big tackle, the big hit when need be. Desperation defense from them, but you just see the power of Canada. They're showing a lot of patience, and they know they're going to get over the line eventually. You see here he dived. That looks like a try to me. Judging from your reaction, Dan Power, it's a try for yours as well. And that just came from sustained pressure. Started with the scrum, another strong scrum from Canada. Just driving forward a good 5 metres. And that put Chile on the back foot straight away.
You could almost do away with the TMO and do a body language expert. The players will usually tell you the truth. Canada have gone. They've walked back. Chile are staying behind the try line.
Okay, perfecto.
And there it is, body language.
Yeah,
Not only a great song from Kylie Minogue, also the truth. Try Canada.
You could point over to the BLE instead of the TMO, right? The body language expert in the corner. I say bring it in, Dan. I love it. Well, maybe all referees should take a course in body language reading. Something to think about. Either way, it's Canada now running away with this game. And we mentioned before, Chile did not want this to happen. It's Canada building the score right before the half-time. So it'll be a mountain to climb now for Chile coming out in the second half.
Conversion successful, 20 points to 3. 22 to 3, sorry. Canada in control here. And it's been a big week for Canadian rugby as they launched their new high-performance facility. Rebranded, as you can see, the new logo. And they will look to cap it off with a win here as well. Kick goes over the top of Bailey. Tapped back, though, by Zanino.
He's offside in the kick, okay? Yeah.
Cardinal error off the restart mark in front of the kicker.
Player.
Yeah, that's just frustration again. Losing focus. They're way behind on the scoreboard. Getting tired as well. Halftime cannot come soon enough for Chile right now. They need to go in, take stock,
Yes, he's offside.
take a big breath. Come out in this second half a little bit more composed. The replay shows it. I mean, he wasn't just in front, he was way in front. And that was Zanino.
Coach! Bind! Set!
Bet your bottom dollar he won't be making that mistake again.
Work here.
Campbell up the back.
Advantage.
Good contact comes in there from Chile, though. Forces the turnover. Can Los Condores put on points here right at the break? Ball comes to the left. Pizarro Pass goes in front. Dagnino forced to go back for it.
No hands, Canada!
Slow ball to back. Richard. Porota goes midfield, finds Dagnino. Looks to spin out of contact there. And now to the right, they go again. Pizarro goes wide to his captain now, Lorenez. Petrowitz looks to pass, goes forward. Just short of the halfway line here is Chile. The halftime siren has sounded in the background. As Pizarro continues to go forward here. Now the halfway line beckons. As Porota continues to move this ball. They've got numbers to the left. Porota, flat ball. Dagnino may have been forward. Marginal at best. Play on. Quick hands. Zanino. That one definitely forward. And the sideline wins that battle. And Zanino, he's not happy with the man who painted those lines. But that takes us through to the break mark. You would say a professional 40 minutes from Canada as they go to the sheds, leading 22 points to 3 over Chile. When we come back, all the highlights from the first half.
Okay, you were playing advantage for one scrum. Yeah. It's a good tackle. No, para mí no es nada. Scrum. Phil. Scrum. Thank you. Ahí está bien. Set.
And welcome back to Santiago, Chile, half-time. It's Canada in control, 22 points to 3. Both sides will go to the sheds with plenty to work on in the second half, Mark, but Canada 3 tries in that first half.
Canada definitely looking more comfortable. at the moment, Dan, especially in the set piece. Their scrum is dominating over Chile right now. And when they put the ball through the phases, you can see that they really put this Chilean side under pressure, especially when they generate quick ball. You can see that was the first try, and Lloyd dotting over. He still had some work to do. Sent away from that man, Ray Barkwell, 50th cap today. And what a great touch to commemorate these 50 games in the Canadian jersey. Lloyd just bustling over. You see again from the front, wonderful hands from him. And you could have been forgiven for thinking Canada playing like that would have raced away, but Chile held on until this moment. Again, just a mere formality for Lucas Rumble to dive over after some brilliant work, and it all came from a dominant scrum. And it was just a matter of quick ball again, just quickly coming around, staying on that open side. That pass there was crucial as well, just getting it away from the point of the ruck. And Chile just unable to get numbers in defence quick enough to handle this Canadian side. So if they keep playing like that in the second half, you can see here, same again, just in the right part of the field, all the territory, all the possession, and just cracking under the pressure, Chile at that stage. It's just a matter of Bailey diving over, the big man. The referee did go upstairs to see if he grounded the ball properly without knock on, but as you can see there, and that kind of broke the backs of Chile there before the half.
The story of the first half, quick ball for Canada. Will it be the story at the second? When we return, the second half coming your way live and exclusive on ESPN.
Ya Catalina, detrás de ella. Mientras nuestro participante hace su intento a los palos, recordamos que Asiscar es líder en asistencia al viajero en todo el mundo. Es nuestro país sponsor y está auspiciando este concurso en este minuto. Vamos, vamos. Bien, Catalina, algunas palabras. Vamos acá a la cabina a recibir su premio. Recordamos que Asiscar, compañía líder de asistencia al viajero en el mundo, este 2018 acompaña y protege a todos sus viajes internacionales a los cóndores para que puedan volar cada vez más alto y atreverse con nuevos desafíos. Vamos Cóndores, gracias Asiscar, nuestro principal auspiciador, líder en asistencia al viajero en el mundo.
And welcome back to Santiago, Chile. The first half stats here, Mark, and really a dominant performance from the Canadian side when you look at those statistics.
Not surprising to see Canada with 22 points and Chile with only 3. When you look at those scrums in particular, looking very comfortable today, Canada. And Chile, well, by my count, they actually lost a couple of scrums. There was a penalty there for one of them that put them under a lot of pressure. But their line-out hasn't been too bad at all. 3 from 3. Canada 5 from 5. But they'll be looking at solidifying that scrum in the second half.
Well, can they turn things around in the second half? Only time will tell when we return. The second half action coming up.
Antes de comenzar el segundo tiempo, queremos agradecer a nuestro gentil auspiciador Oxbridge, la nueva ropa de alta performance deportiva que auspicia a nuestros cóndores. Directo de Inglaterra, Oxbridge se une este año como nuevo auspiciador de los cóndores. Y a Ciscar, por supuesto, nuestro main sponsor, compañía líder de asistencia al viajero en el mundo. Este 2018 acompaña y protege en todos sus viajes internacionales a los cóndores, para que puedan volar cada vez más alto y atraerse a los nuevos desafíos. ¡Vamos cóndores! ¡Vamos Chile!
And welcome back. La Pintana Stadium here in beautiful Santiago, Chile. Moments away from restarting action here. The second half coming your way. It's Canada in control though after 40, 22 points to 3. And firstly, Mark, let's talk about the home side, Chile. How are they going to turn this around?
Well, we mentioned right before the half, Dan, they have a mountain to climb, especially after letting Canada score right before the break, holding on for dear life. But it's not done and dusted just yet. If they can solidify the scrum or avoid the scrums altogether, I think that will play into Chile's favour. And just again, their line speed, if they can upset Canada, when Canada play that slow ball and one out kind of attack, and that's Chile's opportunity to race up, maybe force the turnover, but it's really an attack that they need to lift their game a little bit more. Ian Ozuski, he's trying to do everything on his own at the moment. He needs a little bit more support from his players, especially the other back three. I think he can launch some more counter-attacking and put the ball up in the air on Thiel as well. They stopped doing that after Thiel dropped the ball a couple of times. He's on debut here for Canada at fullback, and the first couple of times the ball went to the air, he struggled. Now, as you mentioned, according to the shadows, Canada might have the sun in their eyes. So Chile, they'll look for these little opportunities just to apply the pressure, because they certainly can't do it in the scrum, so they need to find other ways to do it.
It will be the home side kicking off here on the left of your screen to get the second half underway. Ball in the hand of Pizarro. 40 minutes left to play for both of these sides and their 2018 ARC campaign.
Salió directo. Salió directo, perfecto.
And that one may have gone out on the full.
Take the scrum, okay?
We'll come back for the scrum. You see that one drift? Ooh. Here we go. Back we come to halfway. There you see I am Dan Power, joined by Mark Stabina. This is a great opportunity to get things going here in the second half. For Canadian fans tuning in, what do you want to see in the second 40 from your team?
The Canadians will just want to see Canada continue to play quick ball. See Phil Mack there as well. He tried to do it at any opportunity he could, quick taps, and just get this Chilean defense in 6s and 7s.
Mack goes to the right boot, looks for the sideline. Oh, well-weighted kick there from the number 9. Takes it into the 22. They're going to play the territory game here. Looking to force Chile into making a mistake down their own end.
Yeah, that's not a bad way to start the second half for Canada. Phil Mack showing his experience, just pinning Chile down in their own territory, making them work hard to come out. So Canada now just need to keep their discipline, as we mentioned before, not give a penalty away and make it easy for Chile to come out.
Success at the line-out continues for Chile as they drive this ball down, looking to use the sun. Well handled by Davis. And now the winger goes for a run. Beats 1, beats 2. That's better from the offload from Davis. Confident start from the young winger.
Advantage.
And that's a penalty every day of the week, twice on a Saturday, especially with DeLuca on the spot there. An early opportunity for points here. And they're going to start the second half just as they started the third. A penalty looking to add 3.
Great work from Davis there, as you mentioned, Dan. This young man, only 20 years of age, started the game really well with 2 nice touches, then kind of went missing. But he's come back in the second half with a good touch there. Great little offload out of the tackle, which had his team moving forward, and then eventually ending up in a penalty and possibly 3 points.
It certainly didn't seem as though they used Davis as much. He was a hot hand in the opening moments of the game. The way he runs, he seems like a pretty powerfully built young lad. Stands at 6'2", 102 kilograms, 225. I would be bringing him in off his blind wing quite a bit through that midfield. Strong runner, good hips, well balanced. A lot to be excited about. You can get excited about that penalty as well from McRory. 25 points to 3, right through the middle.
You mentioned Davis coming, one of his touches coming through off his blind wing. That's where he can definitely be dangerous. Any team can be dangerous by bringing their wingers in as an extra number, not just staying out in their zone. Takes pressure off the forwards, adds an extra number in attack. It's hard to defend against.
Low kick. Eventually fielded though by Canada, just short of their 40. Ball with Bailey. Mack goes deep. McRory under pressure. That kick probably not what he's looking for as it goes to Inazuski. And you know the fullback loves to counter. Picks up his winger now. Inavelli. Player down in back play. We have timeout. Let's see if it was a late tackle. Blevins involved again. And not known for taking a backward step is Nick Blevins.
Strong player himself, Blevins. 29 years of age. He's approaching his 50th cap as well. I've been impressed with him, especially in defence, but that was just silly play. Not sure how he thought he would get away with that.
Well, that's just a brain explosion from Blevins there, really. It's going to be a yellow card. It's going to be a penalty. It's going to be a yellow card, you would think, because it's late, it's off the ball, and really, there's just no need for that. That's going to hurt Canada. They're going to play for 14. You can see there, Lorenis well past the ball, in fact. Well, it's so late. I wonder if they even look at a red card here, Mark, because it is blatantly late. It's not just late, it's, you know, there's some malice to it, because his eyes are off the ball, Lorenis. He's not looking. It's almost a little high, too. Shoulder near the head. probably a yellow, but I wouldn't be surprised to see a red card.
Listen, I don't want to downplay the danger of something like that, but I also wouldn't be surprised if Lorenas was doing it. It is Oscar season. He was acting a little bit on the floor just to intensify the act of the hit. He did jolt his head, so, stuff like that is dangerous when a player's not looking. Could end up in concussion. There was a little bit of whiplash, but I didn't see, in that replay, I didn't see any contact with the head, and Lorenas was holding his head on the ground. That's all I'm going to say about that. But definitely shouldn't be, Blevins should know better, and that's not a good example to set for the young up-and-coming rugby players of the world.
You have time, yeah. Let me know when you're ready. Good? Perfect.
It does result in a yellow card. Canada down to 14 for the next 10 minutes. Dusalat has that throw. Their line out continues to be strong. Jinking run from Pizarro. Now, Dusalat showing some strong carry as well. Probably not the option there from the fullback. Januszewski.
Yeah, that felt like just panicky play from Chile, and Januszewski in particular. Again, burst onto the ball really well. I think just looking at that angle, I think he might have felt, well, defense has me well covered. I think the only way out of this is maybe just to toe the ball forward. Otherwise, he was heading toward the sideline. A little step off the left foot back in and recycle ball. It's easy in hindsight to say, but that would have been the option there because Chile were looking good.
The tower of power, Larson, strong in the line out yet again. He's been a good target for Barkle today. McRory in his 22. Doesn't find the line. Zanino finds a fullback. Oh, well handled from Mack. Comes flying through, puts his body on the line. That's what you expect from the captain.
Use it, Canada.
Bailey off the back. Finds Larson. Mack may have picked up an injury too as he put his body on the line. You see a little limp there from the skipper. You can see how things slow down, come to a grinding halt as Mack goes back. McRory. Canada happy to play territory. Zanino misses on the first, comes back for the second. That one finds the line as the battle of the boots finally ends.
Yeah, I think there was a fair...
Back to this clash, both of those players clashing in air.
It was too fast.
And both of them taking a little while to get off the ground afterwards. You see Januszewski just taking his time, getting off the ground. Same with Phil Mack. What about the commitment of Mack? Did not take his eye off the ball. That's how you do it. I tell you, had he not taken the ball so cleanly, Januszewski had his eye on it as well, and he was flying through. If he'd caught that, could have been good night for Canada on that occasion.
Well handled there from Mack at the back too, under some pressure. Canada with yet another line-out win. Statistically, they've been very strong here today, Canada. If you look at that with the line-outs and the scrum, perfect thus far.
Enough both.
High kick, under pressure. Chile on the counter-attack now. They've got some numbers to their right. Oh, Lorenas. The pass slightly behind him. The captain took a little peek what was in front of him, though. And that one has to go down as a missed opportunity, you would think, Mark.
Definitely a missed opportunity. Coming back to all these late hits going on. Chile just with some frustration. The last thing I want to do is show any ill discipline and give Canada more penalties and more ways of building on this score. But back to that counterattack, great work from Chile. could hear the crowd, you could hear the players on the outside got excited. There was obviously some space, but just as you mentioned, Dan, that last pass went a little bit behind Lorenas, and he went without it. Looked like the ball was kind of dipping on him as well. So execution just letting Chile down again.
Set. Stability. Straight. Use it, Canada.
Ball at the back for Mac now. Brings in the winger. Lloyd, already one try to his name here. Canada still down to 14. McRory drifting. McRory slices through the back line, looking like a great white shark. We have timeout.
I don't want to be too premature with this, but it looked to me they may have been a trip.
Are you okay?
As you see McRory, oh no, it was an ankle tap. So it happened so fast from the other angle, I thought surely the Chilean didn't stick a leg out, and he didn't. He threw an arm out. I think it caught McRory by surprise.
Ready?
He got two sets of knees in the back there too after he went down. There, again, no intent really. I just felt the Chilean players were falling over. He did a great job though. McRory of setting down. Petrowicz, usually a great defender. He bit on that little inside runner. McRory, ball in two hands. You start at a very young age. You teach all the kids. Ball in two hands. McRory does it to perfection there. And now the Chilean crowd, they come alive.
Coach. Bind.
Do have a player advantage.
Straight ball.
For about another 5 minutes here, Chile. They would love some points. The crowd would love a try. Looping run. Canada, they play that soft defence knowing they're missing Blevins. And they've turned this one over too. Mac. Idea was right from Mac. Execution not so much. Nobody at home on the quick turnover ball. They go quick.
You're playing from the mark or behind, not from there.
Oh, now a little bit of argy-bargy. Always wondered how things would go with the Spanish-speaking and English-speaking. You had a couple of seasons playing over in France. I'm sure there was a few words exchanged on the field that got lost in translation.
Definitely. Some translation lost. Especially my first season. Especially with the Australian slang.
Kick goes down now. Lloyd. Thiel. Mac. That one. Oh, charge down from Bailey. The big man ranging up like a giraffe on the Serengeti. He gets in the face there of Ian Azuski. Could have been dangerous if the bounce of the ball had gone a different way.
Okay. Dale.
Yeah, Ian Azuski doesn't seem to be himself today, Dan.
Mayo again. Chile continue their good run at the line-out.
No, 5, red, no. Enough.
Chile will look to clear this ball. Comes down now to Lloyd. Thiel. Oh, not a good option from the fullback. Well, you can see he's leaning back as he tries to put that on the left foot. It's not a great body position to kick the ball by any means. And that is a big blow in what has been a very rocky debut for the young fullback.
Earning his first cap today, Josh Thiel, and showing inexperience, obviously, and also probably some nerves as well. And that tends to perpetuate, Dan, if you have a couple of early touches that aren't the best, and that can just snowball into even more. So that'll be interesting to see if he can pull himself out of that.
Good maul from Chile. Perota running Finally turns that ball back for his fly half in Pizarro. Now with the forwards. That's good ball. Pizarro goes wide. Inazuski, jinking, offload. Good stuff there from the fullback. Great defense coming in from the winger Lloyd.
Here we have the mark. Number 13, you must be on your feet to tackle. You can't play in the flow.
Yeah, just off the feet there against the Canadian players. Now inside the 22 here for the first time in what feels like a long time for Chile. Let's see if they can exploit that advantage they have. Looking to see if Nick Blevins is back out in the field. Doesn't appear to be at this point. So Canada still down to 14. Strong ball. Ball at the back with Munita. Chile now. 5 out from the line. And Canada, they stifle the attack yet again.
I'm here. Just relax.
Well, Mark, defensively they've been very good today, Canada. There's been a couple of little wrinkles in the line at given times, but overall a good defensive performance.
They have been, Dan, especially in the forwards there, particularly in the backs out wide. I was thinking that before, especially with a man down. Chile looking to launch backline attack after blackline attack. You can see Blevins. Just a replacement coming in there, but going back to the defense of Canada, patient, showing great patience and experience just to not shoot out of the line. They're maintaining their line structure really nicely. Good tackling, let's not forget that. Some good one-on-one tackles as well.
Set.
And not surprisingly, Blevins not coming back on after his yellow card. He's been replaced. Some more changes coming in here. Model runner, he'll move into the back line as the fly half. Pizarro, he punches his ticket for the afternoon.
If we have stability, you have to play the ball. Okay?
Still under pressure on their own 5.
Bind.
Now Canada.
We are playing a good scrum from this side, okay? Just keep it there, okay?
I'm loving the DIY number on the back there for Munita for Chile too. A little white tape. Luckily he didn't do it in a mirror and get it backwards, the big guy.
Coach!
The prop, he's had a great shift so far.
Speaking from experience, are you, Dan Power?
Perhaps. Mack goes short.
No seis, gracias.
McRory now will look to clear. Doesn't find the line. Avelli shifts it infield. Inazuski comes across to Avelli now. And now Zanino with the ball. And the penalty for Chile as well.
Captain.
Yeah, not surprised DeLuca's called a timeout here to talk to the captains. I feel like this game in the last 10 minutes has kind of disintegrated into a little bit of niggle.
Yeah, referee Pali DeLuca
Ready?
definitely needs to take control. Start to eradicate this nonsense in the back play. The niggle, as you put it, Dan. It's unnecessary, but there's frustration coming in from both sides. Good to just take control of that so we can just get on with the rugby.
Mándalo. 4-9, 4-9-10 cambio. 4-9-10.
Cambios en Chile.
¿Tenés cambio?
Some more changes here. Well, wholesale changes. 20, 21, 22, all coming at the same time.
Que no juegue, Pato, 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 Pato.
As Chile
Ahora sí,
will
cuando
look to
quiera.
use fresh legs. Petrowitz takes that ball. Had a breakout. ARC last year did the pit bull. Plays with such reckless abandon.
No, no, no.
Just pure aggression does number 7 for Chile. Vergara finds Mayo. White. Oh, ball doesn't go to hand. Yunazuski is forced to go back. Now Vergara comes midfield. Lorenetz. Vergara to his left. Maturana. He steps into fly half now. That's him with the ball. Ball spills forward. May have been from a stray Canadian hand, and it is. And I think DeLuca, his patience has expired here for these infringements.
Come here, please.
Might be right.
Go to by his side to the rock, okay? Rule change.
Reaching for the pocket. So, interesting there, Dan, for Canada. Getting a little bit complacent with their discipline. Maybe that will
This is the mark.
settle them down a little bit.
See?
And is that their second? That's their second man in the bin, or has one returned already? So they're still down 13. Are they down to 13 or 14? Either way, still an advantage for Chile.
¿Estás bien? ¿Sí?
That's their second yellow card for the game. They'd only just returned to a full contingent mark of 15, back down to 14. As you know, it's not only the effect of missing a player as they don't find the line here. Maturana,
Nacho, la tocó.
Mac,
Juego, juego.
fields this inside his 22, under pressure.
No te pases 6. Listo.
I'll tell you, the little winger there in Avelli, he's very, very brave with big Kyle Bailey on top of him.
No te pases, no te pases, no te pases. Yo lo vi, Nacho, está bien, Nacho, yo lo vi. Yo lo vi.
Thiel drives that one up towards the halfway line. They'll play quickly. That's Soto back on the field again. They shift it to the left for the counter. That one may have slipped up a touch. Referee happy to let it play though. Vergara. Now Petrowitz, the pit bull. Links up with Tusulant.
Juego.
Vergara. Here he is, everyone's favourite number 3, Munita. Maturana, midfield. That one low. And that has really been the storyline here today for Chile, Mark, is just unable to capitalise on the opportunities that they've presented for themselves.
And there's plenty of opportunities too, Dan. It's not like they're short of possession in this match. They're just not doing themselves any favours at all. Got some wholesale changes coming in here for Canada. But as we said before, just Chile squandering many opportunities. Their execution is letting them down right across the field in many different situations. From just there, you see they had some good momentum going on, and just ball goes to ground when they seem to have Canada on the ropes. There was some space out wide if they could just get the ball out. But even things as simple as putting the ball into touch. They had a penalty. They had the opportunity to put it way down into Canadian territory, have a line out in a good attacking position, and they just hand the ball straight over to Canada. So that's been happening all game for Chile.
As you see, some more changes. Number 17, Noah Barker from James Bay. He gets his first cap on debut for Canada here. Big moment for the young prop. Of course, Canadian fans tuning in. Hall of Famer from Terrace Bay in Canada.
Please be patient, okay? It's your first scrum, so be patient.
Aaron
okay?
McKenzie, Aaron McKenzie tuning in.
Coach!
Watching his Canadian side get things done here down in South America.
Set. Stability.
There's Andrew Fergie Ferguson on the field as well, replacing Mac.
No hands, please.
Fraser, well contained. Ferguson, a big contact comes in there on Dubravsky. Ferguson, Bailey, also under pressure. There's that line speed that we've seen from Chile throughout this match. McRory goes high. A lot of numbers back there for Chile. Inazuski jinks his way upfield. Beats one, doesn't get away from the attention of the big man though in Keith. Big Keithy. He knocks him down. Maturana to his right. Soto now seeks out contact as Chile just short of the halfway line. Maturana to Solant, jinking now through. Finally, an opportunity here for Avelli. He's dragged down just shy of the 22 for Chile. Maturana down the blind side, inside to the Pitbull. The Pitbull, he's dragged down now in the 22. They've got numbers to the right if they can get quick ball. Vergara goes down the blind side. Inazuski picks up the other winger now in Zunino. Chile knocking on the door here. Can they get the first try? They drift across field. Lorenes isolated, needs some support. Vergara turns it back inside for the big man Mail. Canadian defense seems to have adjusted. Maturana at the back. Long floating pass. And there is the obstruction. And you hate to harp on this, Mark, but really, it's the same thing over and over. Opportunity presents itself, and it's themselves, it's not the work of Canada, it's the mistakes from Chile that is their undoing.
Couldn't agree with you more. Probably their best passage of play with the ball in hand for the game, Chile then. And yes, they are undoing themselves, but let's not take anything away from Canada's defence. They're just being, not necessarily pressurising, but they're being very patient and making Chile work for it.
Oh, there's some big defence from Bailey. Puts his pectorals right into the opposition player. Now Chile wide, the captain Loranis turns back inside. Maturana steps in. Finds Mayo.
Thank you.
Lurking midfield. Maturana lets one go. Quick hands. Lorenes, the captain. Beats one, beats a second, needs support. Can't get the ball away. Well stolen there from the youngster in Keith. Now ball comes down for Soto. Plays again quickly. Inazuski as they come wide now. Richard. Ball pops out. Maturana floats one out. The pit ball lurking in the centres. Ball just doesn't go to hand. Now here's an opportunity for Canada. Up 25-3. The bounce of the ball. Well, it's a room service bounce if you've ever seen one. The pop up. And if that man doesn't deserve a try, I'm not sitting right here. Cole Davis, he gets the try for Canada. And Mark, I was just about to say they're kicking the ball away too much, and then you get that play and you say, well, why not?
I thought exactly the same thing, but then you see the way that ball was kind of wobbling in the air. I thought maybe it could just bounce back into the number 21 Ferguson's hands, and it did. So great work again from a turnover. Chile had all the possession, looking good out wide again until just a steal at the tackle. Quick turnover, great reaction from Canada, putting the ball into space and obviously just getting that fortuitous bounce. And you would have to say that has broken the camel's back, the camel being Chile.
27 minutes.
See that period of play, Dan, it's around about that time of the game. You saw, if you notice, a lift in Chile's intensity and attack because they just knew it's now or never. We need to get on the scoreboard. There's about 13 minutes left. You could see them throwing everything at Canada. And I mentioned before, Canada's defense just patient, making Chile work for it. Not making any obvious mistakes in defense, allowing Chile to just get in behind. Chile are having to do all the work. And as we mentioned, they're struggling with their execution. This kick again coming in. Great work from Ferguson. And just perfect bounce for him. Januszewski did well coming across to make that tackle, but great support from Davis. He's had limited touches, but what he has touched has been gold today. Cole Davis.
Definitely excited to see more of Davis throughout the years. Larson. Big man fields that just outside his 22. There's Ferguson. Pulls it back to McRory. He'll kick open side. Great clearing kick. Great clearing kick from McRory. Was he outside? Was that brought back into the 22? Yes, it was. And they will come all the way back. With about 10.5 minutes left to play, Mark, this is probably going to be one of the few opportunities left for Chile to get points on the board.
Some fresh legs on, Dan, so you're right. This is the time to do it. See another substitution for Chile, so emptying the bench now, throwing everyone out there, everyone and everything. They've been solid in the lineouts, so they just need to win this. See what the backs can do.
Chile, good in the lineout yet again. Matarana looping around. Got numbers again. Flat pass. Soto brings it in, finds a winger and Avelli. Avelli does well to stay away from the sideline this time. Vergara comes to midfield. Quick pick and go. Mail picks up Moya.
No tackle, Canada. Thank you.
Here's where the execution has let them down so far today. Slow ball again here. Vergara. And now they sweep around to the right. Well picked up. Urrutia. That pass just took the impotence out of the attack there for Urrutia. Had to jump up. They tried to catch Canada unawares on that blind side. Vergara marshalling the troops. Turns it back inside. Soto charges into the line. Canadian defence up to the task thus far, though. Vergara to his left. Matarana jinking. This wiry replacement fly half. They go forward now. Richard. At the back. Matarana floats one. One-on-one. Jinx beats one, beats two. The scramble from Canada, though, outstanding. Rumble in particular with the try saver there. It was Escobar for Chile out in this wing. Slow ball. Soto. Don't want to get greedy here. They need to be patient, Chile. Crunching tackle comes in on Diaz. Vergara. Matarana at the back. Finds Uratia. Uratia beats one, beats a second. Uratia, he's over the line. Can he get it down? Will go upstairs. You would have to think 23. Uratia has got close though.
Enough.
What's going to be interesting, Dan Power, is he may not have got there, but it was a high tackle as well. Try it is. So great stuff, and much deserved from Chile there. Great play.
He gets away from McRory, ducks under that tackle. Yep, that's a try. Dots it down under the attention of 3 Canadian players. Great work from Uratia. And it's moments like that that give you hope for Chilean rugby in the future. They can play when they want to.
Well, it just goes to show as well, they kept it simple and their execution was tight. So when their execution was tight, finally they wore down the Canadian defence. And they had those opportunities to do that early on in the match, but a pass would just go astray and would let Canada off the hook. Now, Canada showed some great patience as well in defence up until 15th or 16th phase. So as I mentioned, a well-deserved try from Chile there, just putting it through the phases. Seemed like every person on the team got a touch in the lead up to that try. And great finish as well.
Cam Polson gets on the field for his second cap. Also signed with the Seattle Seawolves in the MLR. Chile off this kickoff. The try scorer there. Uratia takes it back. Got a taste for the try line. He wants more. Long raking
21,
kick.
21.
Comes down to McRory. Fields it just outside his 22. Lets one go. Now picks up the winger Lloyd. Got a try early in the first half. Larson. Beats the first. Can't get away from the second. Now Keith plays out the back door. Doesn't go to hand. Over the sideline there. And it's Chile who seem to be finishing with the wind in the sails here. Again, we talked about in the pre-game, Mark, Canada wanted to come out of this with some momentum, with some positive, some positive takeaways from this game to take into that repechage in November. Plus, they've got their summer series as well to build on that. And very important this last 7 minutes, they can turn things here. Chile take the line out.
Good tackle, good tackle.
Maturana, Sotu, great hands. Ianiszewski, offload, stolen. The clearance kick. Well, it's all you could do in that situation from Ferguson. But Chile, they are finishing here with a full steam.
Finishing strong indeed, Chile. And I think it's a combination of that and Canada just taking their foot off the pedal a little bit. You said they need some good takeaways. I think they've got some good takeaways going into the repechage, but this is certainly an area that they need to work on, is just not taking the foot off the gas and allowing this team, Chile, to come home strong. Ianiszewski, such a shame. The offload was there. Could have easily gone the other way there, Dan.
Now Chile on the attack. Vergara comes to his left. Maturana at the back. Picks up the winger. Novelli. Now Ianiszewski. Escobar beats one. Escobar! There's the try! Chile get their second in a matter of moments.
Alfonso Escobar, the replacement. If I'm not mistaken, that's his second touch of the game, the second touch I've seen. And I thought he was going to score in his first touch as well, out on the right-hand side. So the right winger scoring on the left side. We love to see that, as we've mentioned before, Dan. Those wingers, when they come in looking for work, they create that unexpected extra man in attack and fresh legs, of course. He hasn't just got fresh legs, he's got strong legs, because he did a lot to break through that first tackle and waltz over the try line. Great try by Escobar, and still some time left for Chile.
Conversion successful, 13-point ball game, 5 minutes left to play. I don't want to get too carried away here, Mark, but you never know. It's a crazy old game. That's great work from Escobar.
Escobar strong. The number 8 just shrugs him off. And that's right, Dan, and not just 4 minutes left to play, but a home crowd as well, just rallying behind this Chilean side.
I've been super impressed with Maturana, the replacement fly half. He just seems to be playing with a little bit more attacking flair. That's him with the ball there as they go wide. Petrowitz now. Look at these Los Condores, full of running. Offload doesn't go to hand. And now, Theo with the ball. Can the fullback do something? Runs into a solid shoulder there. That was Diaz. Stiffened the fullback up. And now Davis. Davis beats one. Can't escape the second. Good run from Davis. Well, they can stop the comeback right here. Canada. Ball comes wide. Lagain. Oh, little sneaky foot through there. We'll come back for the first infringement, though. I wouldn't be shocked if they take the 3 points here just to give you a little bit of breathing room.
Yes, I'm sure they're feeling a little bit nervous after that last try of Chile. But that's what you'd expect to see from Canada, to bounce back this way. They needed to do that. It woke them up a little bit. That's what Chile have done. They just woke the dragon. So good play from Canada there. And as you said, Dan, they've opted for the 3 points. Very smart decision.
3 minutes. 2 minutes.
I'm sure the experienced McRory will take this shot clock right to its limit. 2 quick tries, 2 quick converted tries. Chile would have found themselves in the lead. This, you would think, with 2.5 minutes, would take the highly improbable to virtually impossible. That penalty is successful. 33-17. Just under 2 minutes left to play here.
Yes, that penalty, 3 points coming off the back of a turnover. Right before that turnover, Chile were looking like posting another counter-attacking effort that could have brought this match right down to the wire. It was Ianiszewski just with an offload that went astray.
Definitely can't fault Los Condores. Their enthusiasm for playing to the final whistle is undoubted as Canada look to clear this ball down the middle. Over the head of Vergara. They've got 4 back. They know they need to counter here. Ianiszewski. They come wide now. Soto. Jinks up the field. Soto gets through 2 tackles. Looks to steamroll his way up to the 40 now. Maturana, pass doesn't go to hand to Mayo. And you could almost feel the oxygen lift out of the stadium with that drop ball. That should take us through almost to the end of this match. A little bit of extracurricular up there as well.
Well, once again, Dan, it's not like Chile are unable to create the opportunities. They're creating opportunities. And if that ball just went to hand, or possibly even just went straight across the body of Mayol, instead of having him fumble it forward, there was numbers to burn out on that left-hand side. And they've done well, especially through Soto. Such a strong runner, Benjamin Soto. Normally the number 8 for Chile. I need to tip my hat to Soto as well. He looked dangerous in attack, but a few phases earlier before that penalty attempt of Canada, he made a try-saving tackle down that left. I thought it was the fullback, and then when I saw the player turned over, I saw that it was Benjamin Soto coming across there in defense. So he can do it all. He's one of the most experienced players. You could see there he broke the defense and got his team moving forward, putting it through the hands out to the left. And Mayol just unable to consolidate the opportunity that was at hand. But nonetheless, plenty of entertainment for the viewers here.
As we're looking for some foul play. It's on the 19 here for Canada. Corner keys.
Okay.
Hay un tackle alto
Okay.
y lo tira al piso. Número 19 Canadá contra el 16 azul.
Okay.
Penal, ¿le puedes mostrar, Jorge, la zona de la cancha?
Acá, ¿no es cierto? Allá es. Okay. Dale. Captain? Yeah. I have a contact with the neck.
Me?
From 19.
19.
Yeah, to a Chile player, okay? We just penalty there, okay?
Okay, just on the
Yeah, 19. From 19. 1 minute.
Go 1 minute left to play on referee DeLuca's watch. And Chile, they will look to finish this game on a high note.
Okay.
There's not much off him, is there, young Maturana? If you look at him, he's a steak and a few potatoes short of a normal built rugby player, but what he lacks in size, he more than makes up for in creativity and enthusiasm. There's the infringement there. Again, not much in it, probably just a penalty, which is fair enough.
Yeah, I think he realized what he was doing, Connor Keys, halfway through, and then just kind of gently took his arm away from the neck and didn't exactly slam him to the ground, but the damage was done. Just really cracking down, aren't they, on any kind of contact with the head or neck, setting the precedent for safe play in rugby.
The line out again from Chile, perfect. Soto off the back. Chile looking to close this game out with one more try. Vergara brings it down to Diaz. They go to the left again. Maturana looking inside, outside, turns it back to his winger now in Avelli. Avelli is finally brought down. Chile keeping it tight, looking to bring in some of these Canadian defenders. Now, they stretch it wide. Soto, he's been dangerous. Soto. There's Richard. Vergara. Comes short again. Diaz. Maturana dances, offload, doesn't go to hand. Chile recover though. And there's a handling error that will take us through to full time in a very entertaining clash. It's Canada who have run out winners though, 33 points to 17. Mark, your thoughts on the match?
Yeah, just a little too strong in the end, Canada. And I think it all came from that solid platform. They had an early lead of 22 points to 3. Chile fought back, which was fantastic to see. And I'm sure the crowd enjoyed it as well. But it was just the poor execution at times of Chile that didn't allow them to get closer to Canada. They had a final charge toward the end of the game. But execution. It's obvious that the coach, head coach Mark Cross, originally from New Zealand, has put some good structure in play, and they just need to work on their execution.
That's right. Well, thanks for joining us in Santiago, Chile, where Canada have defeated Chile by a score of 33 points to 17 in the 5th and final round of the America's Rugby Championship. For Mark Stabina and our entire crew at ESPN, I'm Dan Power saying thanks for tuning in.
Muchas gracias, muy buenas tardes a todos.